Welcome! Welcome to Hug Nation. This week's Belief Buffet topic is service. I kind of grew up, and I think a lot of people grew up thinking of service as something that is a sacrifice. Service, charity, any of giving in almost any way is something that you do out of a guilt, out of a way of kind of bringing balance into your life because you feel undeserving of the gifts or the blessings or whatever. And so you kind of have to do good things for people who are in need because you're supposed to. Eventually, I got really involved in my kind of, a big part of my messaging and my focus on my online writing was about self-love. And that's why I called my site, my personal site, cockybastard.com, because it was like, look, self-love is so important. If you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? But if you say that out loud, then people are going to call you a cocky bastard. The self-love became really my mantra, and I really started to believe in what I called inner-activism, meaning that as you work on yourself, as you remove the obstacles towards pure love and light that I believe that we are, that we have no choice but to start to get in alignment with loving and service and goodness. And so your priority is not in finding ways to go out and do good in the world, in the service idea that I used to have of like something that you do out of obligation, but you focus on finding your truth, hearing your inner heart song, acting on what it is to be you, and removing the guilt, removing the negativity, removing all the things that are the obstacles of your divine light shining. And then your actions, no matter what they are infused with that type of service. I ended up getting back in touch with my friend Jason at our high school reunion. He ended up calling me one day on Valentine's Day of last year, and he called me from the Costco parking lot, said, dude, I skipped my monthly poker game, I took all my money I normally bring, and I bought a bunch of stuff for the homeless, and I'm gonna go downtown and just hand it out, you wanna come with me? And it was just like, yes, let's take the Hugmobile. And so we went downtown, and it was magical. And at first I struggled with, was I going to make this public? Because I think that there's being of service and being public about it changes the vibration of it a little bit. But because I share so much of my life, I figured, well, this is just part of the way I'm supposed to be doing this type of service. And so I shared the experience and how wonderful it made me feel. Didn't feel like sacrifice at all. It felt like I felt uplifted. I felt encouraged. I felt like connected with brothers and sisters in a powerful way. I didn't feel like I was, slumming or, kind of getting myself dirty because I had an obligation. I felt like I was connecting and being empowered by the human family. The walls, that kind of defined who I was were dissolving as I was connecting with other people. And so I shared that. And then the next month we decided, we're going to do this every first Saturday. The next month we had, 10 people that came and said, can I come and help? Or can I donate money? More people started donating money, and then it started to grow and grow and grow. And so by the middle of last year, people are seeing me as someone who is like a philanthropist or someone who's in charity or something. And I was like, I didn't try or intend or try to do, this has been total service without sacrifice. It has been a process of simply trying to get clear and have inner activism and figure out what feels right to me. And then without even trying, I find myself in situations that are perceived by the outside world as being of service or charitable. Inner activism is, to me, the only way. I mean, if you are doing acts of good, but you're doing it from a place of guilt, then I think that infuses the action that you do. So it's better to do teeny tiny actions from a place of love and joy than to try to change the world from a place of, I feel guilty, this things suck, there's injustice and this pain, like fighting negativity. And maybe in that way, it goes back to that fighting darkness versus spreading light. that even when the action is that of fighting darkness, when you approach it from a place of spreading light, when we gather before First Saturdays, we all get together and we kind of do a gathering first, where we get on, kind of in the same alignment of thought and intention, we get really clear on, we're not going there trying to help people that have anything bad. We're simply trying to connect with people who are, for whatever reason, considered to be separate from us. And we use the care packs and the clothes as a prop, as a bridge, as an excuse to have those connections. And we definitely, look, who are we to say that it's better to have a 9-to-5 job than it is to be on the street? Who are we to say that, owning a house is better than not? Who are we? I mean, we just have simply no way to judge those things. And so when it becomes not about fighting darkness, but when it becomes simply about finding the connections, spreading light, even when the end product is an elimination of darkness meaning like hunger and pain, that it can be a win-win. It can be a light. It can be service without sacrifice, which has been a game changer to me to see that is even a possible thing. So let's grab a hold of this body of ours and appreciate, as we sit here in stillness doing nothing, so many things simply work perfectly without any intention of ours, without any effort. We don't need to concentrate or focus to keep our lymph nodes working. We don't need to stay on task to make sure our marrow is producing cells. We don't need to stay on task to heal a wound. We simply need to keep basic health for the system, feed it, give it sleep and water. And yet we seem to focus so much on our purpose and our importances, on what we need to do. Make things happen. But when we slow down and surrender to the pace of the cosmos, the pace of our planet, then we can kind of fall into the rhythm and go where we're led and find the places of service. So as we appreciate this body, we recognize that it is a shell that houses such more precious parts of us. It houses our personality, our collection of values and ideals and ideas that we've been learning since birth. Whether those be wonderful ideas like the golden rule, or whether they be horrific ideas like our butt is too big. And so then we recognize that we are not that personality either. And then deeper than that level, that shell is our pure, perfect, loving light. Our job is not to seek love, but to remove the barriers of love. That's Rumi. And as we embrace this core of ourselves, it is the exact same thing that burns in everybody. We get so caught up in the differences in the shells we put on top of this light. And we judge others, and we get fights with others, and we imprison others based on the shells. The clack, clack, clacking of those shells is they're in our way and they're an obstacle. When beneath all of that is this brilliant, perfect, pure expression of the divine. Yet another way that the universe experiences itself is through you. So let's forgive ourselves the times when we get sucked into our stories, and also forgive all those that we interact with, all the people that cut us off and that will cut us off this week, all the people that got in our way or piled work on our desk. And let's practice seeing through those shells to that amazing, perfect light inside them. Each of us cells in the one cosmic being, flames in the same fire, beams of light off the same one sun of source. So let's take a deep breath and just feel like we are connected to all of those people. Not their personalities, but their essence. Take a deep breath. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the Love Warriors, happy Hug Nation. Thank you for being the light, receiving, amplifying this vibration, getting closer and closer into alignment. You are an inner activist, whether you like it or not, and you're an ambassador as you walk through the world. Your words, your actions, everything that you say and do is your message, is your sermon. So thank you for spreading such wonderfulness. I love you. Namaste.
You only live once. Enjoy the color.